Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this episode of JM Plays Badly. On today's episode, we're actually starting a new game in Lufia 2 Rise of the Sinistrals. It was a sequel to Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, but if you play Lufia and the Fortress of Doom first, you realize that this is actually a prequel to that game. So, chronologically, this would be the first game in the series. But we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to try to leave enough time between dialogue bubbles that people can actually read the dialogue while we're going along, but I also don't want the videos to be too awfully long because of that, so it'll kind of be an at my discretion sort of thing. So, alright, we're just going to leave his name alone, since we can't change anybody else's name, so we're just going to leave him Maxim. Okay, so she gave me some money, so we can actually afford with the 120 that she gave us. We can either get a small shield, which will give us some extra defense, or we can get a weapon, the rapier, which will increase our attack. The enemies in the very beginning of the game can hit, but they really don't take a hit. So I'm actually going to start with the small shield, and then later on I can always come back and get the rapier, unless I find a better weapon in like a dungeon or something. So, and apparently Tia's voice carries. So, everybody can, everybody standing outside the shop could hear. Just some people to talk to. Magic is over here. You have to buy magic in this game for your characters, and not everybody can use every magic. Like Maxim can use Strong, which is a healing spell, and Poison, which I think either cures poison or causes poison. Some of the spells are funny, but he can't use Spark, which is a fire spell. And this is how you save. So we're just going to run in here and we're just going to save this new game. There you go. Alright. Head out of the village. This old guy over here will stop us on our way out. Alright. So the one thing he doesn't tell you is that swinging your sword actually counts as movement. Alright, let's come into the next room. So basically, because I think I went through that a little fast, he said that you can use your skills in the dungeon. So I can use that arrow. Now the enemy is paralyzed. Until basically you take 8 steps and it's unparalyzed. Now the problem you come into later on with this game is some enemy. Well, he'll explain it. He'll explain it in the next room, unless he already did and I missed it. But enemies only move when you do. But sometimes enemies will. Oh yeah, and then this is. Oops, wrong button. And this is our select button, which, like he said, right now we only have arrow. There you go. The switch opens the door, but as soon as you get off of it, there you go. So although you can push stuff, you can't pull anything. You can't pull them. So So you see these arrows here, they're on the cliff. You can, if you see those, that means that this is a spot where you can jump down from. It's pretty simple. The whole purpose is just basically to say, oh, by the way, this is how you play the game. And then there's certain rooms, there are certain rooms in the game where, you know, in order to get out of a room, you actually need to defeat all the monsters in that room. I don't know if, it's been a long time since I played this game, but there are several rooms like that. I just don't know where they are. I think there are only a couple, though. I don't think they didn't, like, go overabundant on them. Hit level 2 a minute ago there. There you go. Door opened. Swing the sword with the B button. There you go. So pick up the pot, and then we can hold the L and the R buttons to basically pivot. So that way we don't, because if you hit the arrow keys, you move no matter what, you know. But if you're holding the L and the R buttons down, you can rotate instead. One thing about Lufia 2 that it didn't, for some reason, it didn't exist in Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, and they also didn't include it in. I think any of the other ones really was the puzzles. There's a lot of puzzles in this game. Alright, so we'll talk to Tia, and she made us dinner. course, you know, the people out here, you know, they, oh no, bad news. Yep, it's all up to Maxim, because he's a monster hunter. To the cave. Yeah, that's something cool. Sometimes monsters will turn their backs to you, and if they do, you can actually get a sneak attack on them. What's this? I think, oh yeah, there's a mushroom guarding the bridge, but there's no reason to, because this is the door that's causing everybody the problem. You know, it doesn't always work. Sometimes like the back does, but the side doesn't. Mushrooms are a little tougher, but if you don't fight enemies that are a little stronger, you're not going to gain any. You're not going to gain any XP to get stronger. So. So that little flash on the screen, see, I did a lot more damage. Well, not a lot more, I guess. I don't know why it flashed then. Usually when the screen flashes, that's supposed to indicate a critical hit, and it didn't. It wasn't this time. Some other stuff that they don't tell you right away. There are such things as hidden passages in this. There you go. Level up. I always try to be about level 5 before I try to tackle the first boss. Oop. Okay, the mushrooms wanted to fight me. There you go. You start the game with 10 potions. I must have found one or gotten one to drop. I had 11, but you start the game with 10 potions, which is handy, really, because you know then you don't have to waste that 120 gold you get at the very beginning of the game to buy potions for yourself. If you do it right, the potions should get you all the way to the end of this first dungeon. You probably have to use a couple of them during the boss. Really, until later on in the game, there's not a lot of else you can do. You can attack. That's basically it. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can't go down this way yet. You actually get like a hook shot later. has one of your skills to help traverse dungeons. Then you can come back here and you can cross that chasm. I feel like I should have gone the other way first. There's like another area to go to. This I think leads closer to the boss, but there's another area where there's some treasure. Let me backtrack. Let me backtrack first. There's this door. Okay, yeah. This is basically a puzzle room, but let me take care of the enemies in the room first. Then I'll see what I can find. Hey, got in first. I feel like my sword has like a damage cap or something because my critical hits don't seem to do that much more damage than my regular hits. In fact, I think that last critical hit actually did less damage than my regular hit. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's... Alright. So, you know... So this is where that rotating thing comes in handy, because see? There we go. Aha, a life potion. I always hold on to these till later, because there was, I don't know, I can't prove it, and I've never been able to really find any actual evidence online. What do we got here? And an escape. Escapes are nice. If you want to get out of the dungeon in a hurry, that's the best way to do it. But anyway, I can't prove it, but somebody once told me that you should save all those potions. Do that until you get closer to the end of the game, because then it's based more on your stats at the time, but I was always under the impression that it only did a set amount anyway. So, alright, so it is a good thing I came up here. Alright. Most of the enemies are gone because we didn't go to an area that needs the enemies to not be gone, I guess. Oops, too many steps. Now for the lever. Okay. This is an interesting little thing. You only have to fight 2 of the enemies, but I usually try to fight all 4 anyway, just because it's decent experience. Except for the jelly, which is worth 2 EXP. Oh no, see, that's what happens sometimes. See, he approached me from the side because I opened the thing. When I did that, it gave him a move. It basically gave him a move, which obviously his move was to come down. Now, I could alleviate that problem very easily. You know, by stunning each one before I move the hey, Charred Newt. Charred Newt's kind of nice. It's a very weak healing item. Okay. Bats. Bats are a little tougher. I usually say to myself that this is the reason that they're down on this bottom floor of the cave, is because they are tougher and they can call companions. So we're gonna need a potion here. Now the upside to them being able to call companions Okay. Never mind. They ran away. The other one ran away. The good news about them being able to call companions, though, is that if you get rid of the companions, too, you can also get more EXP. So here we go. This is why we're here. We need this. That makes our bridge. Yay, the bat escaped. Yeah, enemies can and oftentimes will run. Alright, I think I know how to get to that staircase. But since we came down this way, we can just jump down. Going up these stairs takes us up here, which we were in this room earlier because this is where those moths were and that door over there. So this is like the way out more than the way in, because you need to make this bridge. Now, let's avoid the spider for a minute. So come down here. It looks like it's almost fairly obvious, but out here, and there's some treasure chest in here. So you get a magic jar that increases, I believe, your max MP, and then hide armor. So this is good. Probably means I could have bought the sword instead of the shield though. But we're just going to use strongest. That's going to give us our hide armor, and that's going to increase our defense to 31. There's an empty chest down there. There's a reason it's empty right now, but later on you can actually get something from that chest. You got to come back and get it though. There's items in this game. They're called dragon eggs. There's, I think, 7 of them, and when you gather all 7, you can go get the you can go talk to a dragon, give the eggs, and they grant you a wish. So, all right. So usually, if you see, what level am I? Because I said I wanted to be like level 5 before I tried this, didn't I? All right, I'm only level 4. We're gonna head back upstairs just for a minute. So I said I wanted to be level 5 before I tackle the first boss, and I know what the first boss is, so. I think we'll loop around and we'll go down the stairs where the bats are, and I can do a neat little trick. I don't have a joystick that works with my I don't have I don't have a controller that seems to work with this with my computer in this particular emulator that I'm using. So I'm using my keyboard and mouse to play this, and it's hard to get to some of the buttons. I've got them all basically on one row, but being a gamer on other games, my hand automatically wants to try to do the QWEASD setup for everything. Alright, let's see if we can get rid of these bats before they run away, because they do like to do that, because as we've seen, they do like to do that, or they like to do that and call a companion. Oh, this could be bad. This could be bad. Well, they're going to keep escaping, though. This is where I'm having the problem. It's like they're calling a companion and then they're escaping. But then the companions are escaping because they take some damage. So it's like, this is going to be like one of those never-ending battles if if the bats don't stop escaping every time I attack one. Okay. All that for nothing. All that for 20 XP and 30 gold. That's actually quite annoying. But I kept my promise to myself. I'm level 5 now, so we're gonna head down the stair. Well, we're gonna fight the spider first. You gotta be careful with the spider. It only happens once in a while, but his regular bite can actually inflict poison. We do have one antidote for that, but... Alright, so that, and then that, and then we're gonna save again. Alright, this is the first boss, so we're gonna approach him. And he's gonna tell us that he won't give us the key to the door. Just a lizard man, nothing, nothing fancy. He attacks me, I attack him. We're gonna go back and forth for a little bit until he finally dies. I just gotta watch my HP because he can deal about 10 damage to me a hit, 15 on a good point. So I don't really want my HP to drop below 15 just in case. Even if it means taking a hit in between rounds. He doesn't have that much HP. I mean, he does have what I call boss HP, and obviously you can tell he's got boss HP because I've dealt a considerable amount of damage to him. I'm also faster than him. There we go. Alright. Heal up our HP and our MP. Save the game. There you go. Alright. Well, I could walk back out, but that about does it for today's episode. If this is your first time here, hit those subscribe and notification buttons so you can stay up to date on everything I'm working on. You can also support the channel on Patreon, and there's a link to that in the description below. There is also a link to my Twitch channel so you can be notified when I'm streaming. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next episode.